Hello and welcome back to the Hype Bulletin, hosted by yours truly, Ralph Mentor. Now I'd like to thank the audience. Thanks again. I'd like to thank y'all once again. Excuse me. But we finally have reached the 700 download mark, and I feel like we are heading straight to 1,000 and all. So much appreciated to the audience, to the people listening to the podcast and all too as well. I really do appreciate it. With this run, with the Celtics run and all too as well, and then with this episode we're about to have and all, I really do appreciate the audience, the downloads, everything regarding it, regarding the podcast, the Hype Bulletin and all, and the website and likeeaglellc.com. I do promise we are not going over an hour and a half, 2 hours. But obviously the reason for that was because I had Joshua Boraz, aka JB, Lucas, and Lucas Gaynor, let me give them their full names, and Ben Gunner too as well, of them joining the program and discussing Boston Celtics basketball, and obviously recapping and rehashing this great season, honestly, too as well. Unfortunately, this episode's about the Olympics, and also unfortunately, Jayson Tatum wasn't able to compound what he earned throughout the season and winning an NBA Finals and all too as well. But fortunately for him, he was able to receive in this type of scenario and all, including Derrick White and Jrue Holiday. And Jrue Holiday, at least, and all, showed up in the final game and the final game against France and hit some big threes and all. I think he had 2 of them in the second half and all. So he had a contributing factor to as one of the Celtics in helping earn the gold and all. But really, even though these Celtics did get themselves a gold medal, I really feel like these next 3 players I'll be mentioning really earned the gold medal for the U.S. and all. And based on my perspective, at least and all, Jayson Tatum and Derrick White, to a degree, kind of received their gold medal and all. And again, with Jrue Holiday in the game that I mentioned earlier in the final game and hitting 2 big threes in the second half, he at least earned his medal, at least and all. But I wanted to give the C some love, especially these 3 of earning. Or at least, because what I'm trying to do with this episode, at least, and all, Jayson Tatum and Derrick White received a little bit, even though Derrick White showed up a bit, defense, just all over the place, honestly, with the defense. He had a couple dope blocks, honestly, and had some baskets here and there, too, as well. To Jayson Tatum, most of his baskets were alley-oops and all. So that's why I say, to them, at least, they received the gold medal. And again, with Jrue Holiday, he was in and out of the starting lineup, even though Jayson Tatum was. But Jrue Holiday, I think as Celtics fans, if Celtics fans are listening and people in the audience was able to watch the Olympics and all, you saw the difference with Jrue Holiday, with Jrue Holiday and then Derrick White and Jayson Tatum, the contributing factors that he had, the minutes played, obviously, too, as well, and to those 2 big threes that I mentioned against France and all. He really played throughout the Olympic run, the 5 games. The 5 games. Is it the 5 games? Let me just rehash it. Yeah, the 6 games that they played, the 3 group games, then the 3 basically the knockout games, honestly. One against Serbia, one against France and Serbia. Okay, my bad. Let me clean it up. 5 games, 3 of them in the group, and 2 of the medal games at least. One against Serbia, and the other one against France, obviously, and also that's why with this part, I want to make this Celtics centric because this is going to be our last basketball episode, and I'll get deep into why this is going to be the last basketball episode and all. But again, before I mention these next 3 players that are on the U.S., and if you guys were watching, I think you guys know where I'm going to be heading, at least and all. But just to keep this Boston Celtics centric, at least and all. Again, I feel like Jayson Tatum and Derrick White more received their gold medals, and Jrue Holiday was 1 out of the 3, at least and all, that had some contributing factors, and you can argue, at least and all, actually earned his gold medal, at least and all. But let's get into these 3 players, because for the men's basketball team to win this Olympics and all, to even with the tough competition that Serbia and France was able to throw at them, and South Sudan, you can give them some love during the exhibition games before the Olympic Games and all. You can give them credit of pushing the men's basketball Olympics team to the brink, at least and all, in their first matchup and all. But let's give a shout out to the oldest man, on the team and all too as well, at 39 years old, even though I'm comfortable saying that he's 40 years old, at least and all. The 39-year-old marvel, and LeBron James, at least and all. Honestly, just had an impressive run on his way to getting this gold, honestly. He was named MVP. I would argue he was MVP of this team and all. I think he had 1 triple-double, if not 2. I'm pretty sure it was just 1. It was another game that he was pretty close and all, with probably like 16 points, 8 rebounds, and 8 assists and all. But this man was dazzling in my opinion. Outside of Wembanyama, honestly, you can argue that LeBron James was by far the most athletic player in the whole Olympic tournament. If you want to keep it just the medal games at least, and all, by far right there with Wemby, honestly. But looking awesome, blocking the ball, obviously dunking the ball, running in transition and dunking the ball, running the team and having a whole bunch of assists too as well, honestly. There's nothing you can really knock LeBron James for this Olympic run, honestly. At 39 years old, honestly, from when I'm bringing up Jayson Tatum not playing, one of the players that was obviously in the way of Jayson Tatum really playing his game at least and all throughout these Olympics and all. Because to be fair to Jayson Tatum at least and all, I'm knocking him in this episode of not playing. Steve Kerr had him in a weird place in the corner, and last time I checked, star players that don't like being in the corner and just waiting for the ball to come to them. They like to be part of the initiation of the offense at least and all, if not the finishing part of the offense and all. And just look at Kevin Durant and how the Phoenix Suns situation with Frank Vogel was, to see how a star player like Kevin Durant and all, and we're going to be talking about him too and all, how to let that go, but just to protect Jayson Tatum at least and all. You can't expect the guy to be just hanging at the corner, waiting for the ball when he's coming off of a championship run at least. And it's just expecting them to have rhythm. I'm pretty sure Steve Kerr didn't expect Jayson Tatum to have some sort of rhythm in a situation like that. That's why you see Devin Booker at least not playing at the 3 more than Jayson Tatum and all. But let me not get off that. Let me not get back into the Jayson Tatum topic at least and all. Let me bring it back to why I said. Let me bring it back to LeBron James and why I brought up Jayson Tatum in the first place. Basically, 2 guys that play at the same position. LeBron James is who he is, and he did what he did in the Olympics, and also at least to the point of Jayson Tatum not playing. LeBron James's run in this Olympic tournament was just dazzling, honestly, too as well. Even getting dunked on. I'll even say that Gershon Yabusele in that championship game, or in the gold medal game at least, and all, was able to dunk on LeBron James. And I had to look back at the highlights. I didn't realize that LeBron blocked him and all. And then LeBron, this transition point I had earlier, was had a play where he came down the court, basically spun on Gershon Yabusele, basically hip on hip, and was able to finish a play with an and 1-2 as well. After that, Gershon was able to dunk on him. But again, LeBron turned up the Jets and all. Even in the second half and all, he showed out too as well, honestly. In the Serbia comeback, he had the game-tying layup there too as well. Again, in transition, a 39 years old in transition. If you're not sure what I mean by in transition, basically grabbing the ball from the opponent's side of the basketball court and running himself right up the court, 94 feet to the offensive side, and scoring basically. So that's what I mean by him in transitioning. Just him running up and down the court. And again, a 39-year-old who's played 20 seasons of basketball in the NBA, and we obviously know outside of these late years with the Lakers at least and all, has in his early years with Cleveland at least and all, has always had a deep playoff run too as well. So mind you, this is the 82 games that you play every season that he's done for 20 plus seasons and all. He's playing another at least 16 to 20, 24 games in the playoffs at least and all, probably for 15 years of his career too as well. And look how dazzling and a marvel at 39 years old that he looks, playing, and obviously the best player on the court, and as I guess the IOC or whoever runs the basketball side for the Olympics at least voted him MVP and all. I'm not sure if it's the media. I know there's no fan voting in the Olympics at least and all, but he was named MVP at the end of the tournament basically on this past Saturday on. Today's the 13th on Tuesday. That must have been, August 10th. That was 8/10/24, a Kobe day basically too as well with his numbers. And also, shout out to LeBron James and the way he played, man. Without him, this team is not winning the gold medal this way. That's all I'm saying. I'm not going to say if you take out LeBron James and these other 2 players I'll mention, You take them out, this team had no chance. I think this team would have been fine without these three, but we got to see how dope these three are, and LeBron James was the leader of that. Number two, I think it's pretty obvious who number two was. The French announcers were so dope with their call during the Melo game and all. That 47-second clip that I was able to see on Twitter was probably far the dopest thing I heard in basketball and all in a long time, honestly. In these games, before I get into the devil that these French announcers were calling him and all, what's it called? These games have been, I think, were thoroughly amazing, honestly. I think these last two games against Serbia and France, Marvel games like the 2013 game in Miami, Game 6 of the NBA Finals, where Ray Allen hit that shot in the corner off of basically off of not a touch rebound. Chris Bosh was able to get that rebound and all, but swing it over to Ray Allen in the corner and all, hit that three. I feel like these games match that, and obviously Game 7 in 2016, where we had the block by LeBron James and then the shot by Kyrie Irving, where Cleveland beat a 73-win team in the Golden State Warriors and all, in Golden State at the Oracle Arena and all too as well for Cleveland to have their first city championship as a city, city of Cleveland, a championship since like the 1950s with Cleveland Browns and Jim Brown at least and all. So these two games, in my opinion, compared to those type of games, honestly too as well. I don't think you're seeing a better play of basketball that if you were able to watch the game against Serbia for the bronze medal, or basically getting knocked out and all, and then obviously the medal game against France. Whoever wins gets the gold, and whoever loses gets the silver. Even the stakes were high too as well, similarly to the game I'm bringing up in 2013. And that was the Heat facing the Spurs in 2013, mind you. Greg Popovich, Tim Duncan, Kawhi Leonard, that the Heat did that too, so great competition and all. And then the game I'm bringing up in 2016, the Cleveland Golden State series, that lasted for 4 to 5 years of them going back to the finals over and over and over again. And the reason that the Golden State Warriors had to sign Kevin Durant and all too as well, I'm ruining it for Kevin Durant because he's going to be the other guy and all. But this guy here, back to the devil that the French broadcasters were calling out, was Steph Curry, honestly. And to Anthony Edwards, who was saying it too as well, this man showed up 5 days ago, basically 3 days ago from when that game ended against France for the gold medal at least. But Edwards said this man showed up 3 days ago because Curry was a little, Casper-like, ghost-like, basically, throughout the first 3 games, at least, for the Olympic Games, at least, You can see, though, and this is why I understand why, again, I'm going to keep bringing up Jayson Tatum with each player we bring up and all who really earned a gold medal, at least, But you can see in the game against Serbia, there was a considered effort by either the coaching staff or, just the team, the players and all, to get Steph going. And Steph got going in that first quarter and all. If it weren't for Evramovic, number 30 for the Serbia team and all, I think the States would have had a big-ass lead and all. Because I believe Steph Curry had 17 points in that first quarter, if not in that first half entirely, at least. He had 17 points. I think he knocked 4 threes, if I remember correctly, in that first half, maybe 3 of them and all. But he had a scorching hot start, and the States were still down after the first quarter and all because of the hot shooting by Avramovic. Bogdanovich too as well with his little mellow celebration in the middle of the second quarter and all. Jokic showing up too as well, and Andrew Jones' favorite, I'll give him a shout out and all. Micic too as well had a couple big plays, not even scoring wise honestly, but they just had a great start honestly. I think even Micic hit a 3 off the backboard if I remember correctly in that first half against Serbia, and I'm thinking the whole time just get it to 6 going into halftime, maybe the States will be all right. No, I think they were down 12 if not 13 going into halftime and all, and I believe the Serbia team was able to push it to 17 in the third quarter, and that's when the States were able to get it down a bit. I still wanted single digits going into the fourth quarter, but it was still a double-digit deficit and all. But let's get it back to Curry at least and all. he was huge in both those games of them coming back in each of them, honestly, too, as well. And so that's that game. This is the game for basically a game to play for the bronze or basically getting no medal and all. Steph Curry showed out. I think he dropped 32 points at the end of that, too, as well and all. Had himself a sizzling game and all. And then in the France game, about talking about Steph Curry, now this is when the French announcers started calling him the devil and all. It was just scorching hot. I believe, I'm not sure how the start was. I can't remember how the start was and all too as well. But I know at the end, this man was daggering the France team basically too as well. And the last shot that he hit was basically over a double team. Nicolas Batum 6'7", and then Evan Fournier. At least you know who's going to give you. I don't know, maybe a 6'8" wingspan at least and all. But still, two guys basically one on his hip, and which was Evan Fournier, and we have Nicolas Batum right in front of him, and he shot that ish right over him. Even in the there we go in the first there. I was trying to remember some shots in the first half at least and all. Wembanyama had himself a little a pretty damn good contested shot on Curry in the corner, and Curry was able to hit the front rim and got that shooter's bounce and went right over, honestly. And if you catch it too on Twitter or just Google it and all, you'll see a great photo of Wembanyama. They're contesting it, and Curry just, calmly shooting the ball over him and all, and essentially making the shot and all. So we did have a hot start too as well in the first quarter too as well. Yeah, he did. Had himself I'm trying to remember the shots. Had himself a corner shot where he turned back to the USA bench and it went in and all. They went crazy and all too as well. Surprised that they didn't get a tech for like Ant Edwards and Kevin Durant being on the court for a quick minute at least and all. But Curry in the last two games was just ultraly awesome, honestly, too, as well. Like, you can go that far with these two games and how awesome, how marveling, how extraordinary it was to watch, honestly, too, as well. The competition that I wanted to give a shout out to before mentioning the star player, but I'll go ahead and mention it, was pretty damn good in these two games and all. I mentioned Avramovic, I mentioned Bogdanovic that were scorching hot from three in the semifinal game, let me call it that now, and then Gershon Webaseli was showing up for the French and all too as well. Wembanyama was obviously do his things too as well, and I believe Cornier even showed out for them. Fournier didn't have a good game unfortunately and all, but I believe Cornier had himself a good game too as well for them. So those two teams really showed out, and again pushed the States to a brink. I'll give Serbia credit, had a 17-point lead on the States, and had me nervous thinking like, I don't know, I really thought they were gonna lose that game honestly. So I really wanted to give them a shout out for that honestly too as well. Like, this competition was the reason why these games were lacking. It's not like the States didn't show up and all of a sudden they turned up the gas in the fourth quarter. No, like I said about the first quarter with Steph Curry against Serbia, he showed out and dropped 17 points, if not like 14 points, 17 points the whole first half. But he showed out and was ready to demolish that Serbian team, honestly. In the two games prior, the States basically did blow him out. But in that third game, Avramovic, I'm not Serbian, so I'm going to mess up that name and all, but I thought when he gave Steph Curry the fist pump in the middle of the first quarter, I thought he was bowing down. I thought it was over, and then he's coming back with 3-on-3 basically too as well. So it's a huge shout out to the Serbian team, honestly, to really push the States team to the brink. Honestly, they didn't show any slacking throughout any of the, in my opinion, throughout any of the tournament games. You can argue in the exhibition games they took it too light at least, but in these Olympic games, I think they thoroughly showed out. I think you saw it with the games against Brazil, South Sudan, and Puerto Rico, honestly, with their thorough dominance, in my opinion. I think all those games were wins over 20 points at least and all. And I think the Puerto Rico and Brazil one kind of almost touched 30 points as at least the lead at least and all. But I don't think the States were sleeping at all in this scenario, honestly. I think they thoroughly showed out, and I think Serbia and France really gave you great competition and all. But the dope shooting by Curry and all really necessary in those last two games and all. I think like I said, in the Serbia game, he dropped 32 points. I'm not sure the France game. I can get the stats real quick. It's all about computer being cool with me. But let me look it up real quick. He dropped 30 points in the last game against, it looks like that. Yeah, it looks like he dropped 30 points. Nope, he dropped 30 points in the semifinal game and the gold medal. Wow, he must have averaged 30 points. Yeah, he averaged 30 points basically in the last two games of the Olympics and all. So he was thoroughly dope. He had a little noise, so I kind of went off the mic a little bit. But dope performance for him, honestly, out of nowhere. Like I said, didn't really show up. To Ant Edwards' point too as well, didn't really show up in the first 3 games and all. And then when everything is on the line, this man showed up out of nowhere, honestly, and basically averaged 30 points a game and all. And again, you can argue, not argue. I think it's just a fact that he earned his gold medal compared to the Celtics. That I want to, obviously want to give more credit to, obviously, with this first part of the podcast being so pro Celtics at least, and also pro Boston Celtics at least. But you have to give LeBron his credit, being MVP, having a triple double in the Olympic game. Only so many have done that. I think it's like 5 players in general, and I think he's done it twice. If not, Jokic did it twice or something like that. But if it's not 5 players, only 3 players. I know it's Jokic, Doncic, and LeBron James who have done it. I'm not sure of the other players that have done it at least and all, but it's a small few for a tournament, for at least a tournament that's been around for like over 100 years. And obviously the basketball tournament side has probably been around for 50 years at least and all. I'm going to say the 60s or 70s on a guess that that basketball has been instituted at the Olympics at least and all. But to be one out of 3 to 5 players to have a triple double and all too as well at the age of 39, I think it's damn amazing, honestly. So again, credit to him. Steph Curry, his shooting performance. You have the French announce team calling him the devil and all, and he's dropping dagger after dagger after dagger in the fourth quarter and all too as well. Even Noah Eagle, the announcer for the stateside at least, and all, I think he thought one was enough and all, and then he comes in with the double being guarded by 2 players, basically a double team, and hits that 3 and all too as well. So those are just great performances by those 2. And we have one more guy who I think is the main reason why Jayson Tatum didn't play. I mean, I'm not, even though Kerr and his rotations you can really scratch your head about. I'm doing it right now, mind you, but I think with these 3 guys that I'm mentioning and all, now Kevin Durant, mentioned them enough with the examples at least, and also Kevin Durant will be the 3rd player I'm mentioning, but again, you can understand why Kerr emphasized playing these 3 guys and all, because at their ages, we got LeBron at 39, I think Curry's 36, if not 35, and we have Durant there at 37 and all. You can understand to really force the issue of making sure these guys got their minutes, making sure, it's not even about minutes, honestly, making sure these guys got their rhythm, and I really think Kerr lucked out with Kevin Durant and all, because his first game that he came back to, and it was against Serbia and all, the first group game at least, and all, dropped 21 points in the first quarter. This man did not miss a shot until the 3rd quarter. Him and LeBron didn't miss a shot until the 3rd quarter. I think it was LeBron who missed first, then Kevin Durant missed soon after and all, but man has basically been out for like 2 to 3 weeks with a calf strain and all. First game against Serbia, and we all saw what Serbia was able to do in the semifinal game against the States and all. Kevin Durant was able to drop 21 points and all. I think the way Serbia played, we can argue if Kevin Durant didn't drop that 21, we're probably in trouble against Serbia in that first game too as well. I'm not saying we're losing, but a little bit more trouble than what it was because Kevin Durant dropped 21 points in the first half at least. I think he went 7 for 7, ended up going 9 for 9 I think until he missed his first shot at least in the 3rd quarter. But again, he was thoroughly amazing and all. And the other games he didn't have a great point game at least and all, but you can't argue about his clutchness in the 4th quarter against Serbia, and you can't ignore his clutchness against France in the final game there too as well. I'm pretty sure. I think it was in a game against Serbia. He basically had his dagger against them on the mid range too as well against Serbia with that thrilling comeback that the States had, being down 17, tying it 84, and basically able to carry on for a lead. But Serbia didn't go away and all too as well. But again, with it, and again, to the point of why Steve Kerr was pushing more for Kevin Durant to play, this thanks to his play in these Olympics, is now the all-time leading scoring title, has the all-time scoring title in basketball Olympic tournament, men's and women's included, and passing Lisa Leslie. And we'll get into what the women team did too as well and all, but was able to pass a great in Lisa Leslie and able to have his own record. I think he's got 4 gold medals now with this win too as well and all, and he was a big part of them, and he earned it, and a big part of them winning it and all. So that's why I understand why Jayson Tatum didn't get his minutes and all. when you look at these three players and all, the positions that they are in their career, we're talking about Jayson Tatum, a 26-year-old who's got potentially a chance to go to two more Olympics and have two more golds himself. Honestly, you can understand why Steve Kerr. I'm not saying I like it, but you can understand why Steve Kerr pushed playing Kevin Durant. Look at the things I just mentioned about what he did in this Olympics, making sure Curry. He forced the issue with Curry and making sure he got going, and I don't blame him against Serbia in the first half and all, or first quarter, and it led to his 17 points in the first half at least and all, and led to him having basically averaging 30 points in the last two games of the Olympics and all too as well. And then LeBron James, in my opinion, being the best player in the Olympics and all, and then it was warranted for his MVP and all too as well. So I just think those three players warranted being pushed and being played a little bit extra, honestly. And and for Jayson Tatum not to play and all, and I can thoroughly understand it and all. Look how dope they played. I'm putting these games in the class of the 2013 Game 6 against with the Spurs against the Heat, and I'm putting it in the class of a 2016 game. We have my bad, the Golden State Warriors versus the Cleveland Cavaliers, a 73-win Golden State Warrior team being pushed to 7 games in the finals against Cleveland and all, and then losing ultimately too as well. These type of games were that dope, and if the States were to lose, is that type of disappointment for the Spurs in 13, and the same type of disappointment for the Warriors, and both of those teams went back to the finals the next season and won, and the Warriors went back to back with the addition of Kevin Durant and all. So those were just great games. Honestly, I feel like they were needed to be mentioned, even though they weren't so pro-Celtic oriented. They did receive 3 medals and all. I don't think they thoroughly earned them the way LeBron, Steph Curry, and Kevin Durant did, but you can't take away of any of it from just Jayson Tatum basically being the 11th guy to LeBron, Curry, and Durant, who you can argue were the top 3 guys and all for this Olympic team. It was all necessary for them to win a gold medal. Can't argue about them winning the gold medal, how they won the gold medal and all. And I thought they played pretty damn well, even with those 2 close games. They had 3 dominant wins basically and all before those 2 games of struggle. And I would just argue the talent of Serbia and France put them in those scenarios. It wasn't the States lacking or taking the competition lightly, at least and all. They wanted it. You saw Curry's hot start in the France game too as well. In the Serbia game and in the France game honestly too as well, to keep them in those games. And France at least kept it a game, even though they really get a lead here and there. But Serbia was able to mount a big lead, and the States were still able to come back and all. So just ultra great games. I think this was a great experience and all. You're looking at a 34-year-old going on 35 in November. I've never seen the 92 team and all, so my perspective will be maybe a little bit off with this, but this is by far, I think, the best Olympic team that I've watched and all. I think the 2012 team competes with it. I'm going off the top of my head, memory and all. I know Kobe, LeBron, D. Wade. We're talking about Melo was on this team. Could have been Chris Paul on this team. Maybe Irving's on this team. That was a dope, talented team, honestly. But the size of this team, with the Embiids, the Bams, the ADs and all, the wings. Again, Jayson Tatum didn't play because there's a whole bunch of wings on this team, honestly. To LeBron, Kevin Durant, and Jayson Tatum, honestly. And even though that's just 3 wings, you're looking at guards like Anthony Edwards, Devin Booker, and a lineup with Steve Kerr, who specializes himself of having spacing on the floor, at least and all. Look at your Golden State Warriors and what they've done, at least over the past 8 seasons, at least and all. You can see, you can understand why guys like Booker and Edwards would fill up a Jayson Tatum role, at least and all, because those are 2 guys, maybe guards, but definitely long and big enough to handle themselves as wings in the Olympics, at least and all too as well. And obviously there's Jrue Holiday and then Derrick White, and obviously Steph Curry and all too as well, and Tyrese Halliburton at the point guard / shooting guards for sure. I'll say the Bookers and Edwards are guards, but they fill in the wing positions too as well. And you got all those guards in Derrick White, Jrue Holiday, Curry obviously, and then Tyrese Halliburton, who really didn't play at all in these Olympics and all too as well, because look at the depth I'm mentioning before. When I'm circling his name and all, you can understand why Jayson Tatum and Tyrese Halliburton didn't play, and to the point of, I've never seen so much talent on the Olympic team before too as well. Before this year, 21 the 2020-21 year, they went to Tokyo, lost a game 2016, I think that's Rio. I think that was a pretty damn good run. The 12 team that I'm mentioning, I believe, is London. That's where I have all the teams that I've watched at least and all. I put them number 2 to 24 at least and all. I can't remember where '08 was. Now we're going way back. But obviously we remember '04 in Athens, and that's the team that lost and all too as well. So basically '08 was the redeemed team, I think. This is all top of my head. There's a documentary about one of these redeemed teams now with Kobe and LeBron the team and all. So I'm not sure which one that is. Could be '08, could be 12. But I think it's '08 at least now because that team went back to, the same team basically went back to the Olympics in 2012. So I'm pretty sure '08 was the redeemed team at least now too as well. But I have all those teams I'm mentioning. Obviously '04 lost. 2000, maybe a little too young for me to remember off the top of my head at least and all. Yeah, I don't think I remember 2000 at least and all. And 96 as well, I don't remember all that well as well. So that's why I put the 20. And then obviously before in 92, I'm like 3 years old, so I obviously didn't see that team live and all. So when I look at the Olympic, when I'm comparing Olympic teams and all, I really put 24 at the top of the list, honestly. And as much as 92 dominated, 92 did not, and as much as I didn't watch it, there's no way that 92 faced the competition that 24 faced in Serbia and France and all too as well. And France has got like a 5-time or a 3-time, whatever he is in the NBA, 3-time defensive player of the year, and Rudy Gobert, basically off their bench and all too as well. This, talented players. We're talking about Jokic, a back-to-back MVP player in the NBA, and obviously arguable, if not, in my opinion, I think it's just the fact that he's the best player in the NBA too as well. Honestly, you can just argue the best player in the world, and they were able to beat him 3 times, honestly, too as well. So I really have this 24 team up there with the 92 team. Again, I've never seen the 92 team, so it's hard for my perspective to have that much legitimacy at least and all, because I can understand if someone feels like the 92 team is by far better than the 24 team at least too as well. But I feel like the way the 24 team played and the way they handled themselves in these last 2 games and all, I think they deserve to be in the competition, or at least in the talks, or in the competition at least and all. Yeah, shout out to the competition. But I think they deserve to be up there. I'm right there with the 92 team, and obviously one of the best Olympic teams that we've seen and all. So 30 minutes in, I did promise I'm not trying to go long and all, so let me just give a quick mention to the women's team and all. Great. I didn't watch them as thoroughly as I watched the men's team, and it's not that I wasn't interested. They were blowing teams out. They were making it look very boring. And this is the team that lost to the WNBA All-Stars in like July at least and all too as well. And they've won 61 straight games now to win themselves a gold medal. It's not that I didn't watch the women's basketball team, but the games were pretty much boring until this gold medal game, honestly, where Gabby Williams came out, honestly, and you can argue could have tied the game, honestly, but had herself a Kevin Durant moment with her foot on the line. And I'm disappointed because I feel like she had mad time to dribble back and take that shot. And the way she was hitting shots, she was going to hit that shot, honestly. She hit a 3 just before, honestly. And I think the women's Olympic team missed a free throw, so it gave them a chance to hit this 3 and all. It was a crazy ass pass to Gabby Williams, but I'm not sure who threw it to her on the France team, but was able to find her right on the dot for that shot. She just didn't step back. I'm pretty sure she didn't get a good feel at the time and all. So, with the game that she had and all, I can't blame her for having the foot on the line. No different from Kevin Durant and trying to save the Nets against the Bucks in 2021 and all. But it was a thrilling game. Asia Wilson was lost for a little bit. Brianna Stewart was lost for a little bit. Cheryl Reeves, the coach, was lost a little bit for not putting Sabrina Ionescu into the game at least and all until the second half and all. But Kalia Copper, if I'm getting her name, Kalia Copper stepped up big time, had 10 points in the third quarter. I think she had 14 points overall in the second half and all. Asia Wilson was able to find herself. Cheryl Reeves finally put in Sabrina to help that up because the offense was stale since Asia Wilson wasn't able to get going, honestly. Kalia Copper helped out a big time for Cheryl Reeves with those 10 points in the third quarter, but I really think Sabrina helped, honestly, just creating space. She's a shooter, so I'm not saying even her shooting created the space. She was able to she had some sick passes, honestly, or some sick passes, honestly, and was able to get some rhythm going for them offensively, honestly. And you can argue Asia Wilson after that was able to get going, honestly. And even Collier, I don't remember her first name and all. I hope I'm catching her name right. It makes me want to look it up, make sure I get her name right, because she was honestly awesome too as well. She was rebounding the ball great as well. Let me get her name. I'm going to look for her name. I'm going to just mumble on until I get her name and all. I'm not sure if it was Collier, because that's reminding me of of a player on the French team that was also named Collier, so I don't want to mess that up. I just want to make sure I got the roster. Yeah, no, yeah, Khalil Copper, yeah, had the big game. The Fisa Collier, that's what I'm getting right, number 15 and all. Let me make sure. Yep, Collier. Nafisa Collier was huge too as well. While Asia Wilson was struggling and all, and she kind of lost her, since she was struggling, not hitting the shots, she kind of lost her, how can I say, lost her swag a bit, and too as well. Nafisa Collier was huge, able to get some rebounds and all too as well, able to create some second chances for the team and all while they were struggling offensively in the second quarter and all too as well. But it was just a great game. It was a great game, honestly, by the France team. You really got to shout out their moxie, their pride for and all too as well. The starting center there, Ayayi, I hope I got that right, Ayayi. She was struggling to begin the game too as well. Had some quick fouls, got herself out of the game, and they had to put in Rupert into the game and all. But she was able to come into the second half and start hitting some shots that I didn't expect, even some threes too as well. Honestly, they really all stepped up and all. So I really wanted to give both French teams, honestly, when you think about it, their shout outs. The Serbia team honestly deserves their shout out too as well. But I wanted to give a shout out to the game and all. The women's Olympic team really had to fight through this game against the French. Honestly, as much as their games in the other games, at least and all before this one, was kind of a cakewalk to me, honestly, as I wasn't thoroughly entertained to watch them and all, compared to the men's game, at least in the semifinal game and all. But this French team really came through, gave the women's team all they can deal with, honestly, and again had me worried about them winning this game and all. But they showed out their moxie, they showed out their clutchness, they took the pressure of them losing the first game that the women's basketball team has ever had in the Olympics, if not since '92 at least and all. They're on a 61 game winning streak since '92, which is just ridiculous. They got 8 gold medals. That's just crazy what the women's team has done. Also, I definitely wanted to shout them out and all, and really a great capper to the basketball side of the Olympics, honestly, too as well, and honestly just a great capper to the basketball season, honestly, too as well. It's just been a great run. Unfortunately, this will be the last basketball episode of the Hype Bulletin, just for a couple months and all. I am blessed that the Olympics was able to stretch these things out. I was able to bring a couple guests in, as you know, with JB, Lucas, and Ben and all too as well. But for a couple months, we're going to give the basketball talk much of a break and all. How the way Jayson Tatum had to deal with all this not playing and all. And I just gave you 30 minutes or 35 minutes, my bad, of a reason of why. I think it's okay why he didn't play and all. It's not like he played bad and all of a sudden they didn't want to play him anymore. I just think there were 3 players that Kerr really wanted to emphasize into this offense and all too as well. And I think because of Durant being out, really slowed it up of putting Tatum into the rotation and Curry not waiting until basically the knockout game again or the semifinal game against Serbia to show up with his shot at least and all too as well. I feel like those 2 factors really hurt Jayson Tatum even getting any type of minutes and all too as well. So I don't look at it as Jayson Tatum playing bad. He wasn't in the mood for it. None of that bullshit that people want to throw out there, and I'll have my Ben Gunner moment at least and all. But I do think these factors of Steph, Kevin Durant, obviously LeBron James, and all playing the same position as Jayson Tatum and doing the same thing Jayson Tatum does for the Boston Celtics and all. I can understand why the guy didn't play. Basically, your 11th guy, if there was an injury and all too as well, he would have definitely been the next guy up at least. But fortunately, none of that happened and all. And ended up just receiving a gold medal and all. The man earned his first gold medal 4 years ago at least and all with him averaging 15 points a game. It's not like he cannot do this in the Olympics and all. This is the one time that he can't show up and all. I do hope he decides to come back and all and have a chance to win 3, if not 4 gold medals and all at the age of 26 and already having 2 of them and all too as well. So I'm fine with it. I'm cool with it as a Celtic fan at least and all too as well. Just guarantees that's going to be healthy going into this season and that he's going to have some extra motivation. Even though not getting Finals MVP may have been motivation, this Olympic run may have been a lot more motivation for Jayson Tatum and all. And as a Celtic fan that wants to see this team go back to back and knowing that human nature is going to be a big part of why they may not go back to back, having this type of motivation for the Olympics and all, and Jaylen Brown too as well, not making the team at least and all. I can't look at that and not be thoroughly excited moving forward right now for the Boston Celtics and going into the 24-25 season and all. And I promise in October we'll have some preview shows, prediction shows, and I'll bring some guests on, the same guests you just heard, and maybe a couple more to talk about the 24-25 NBA season and all. But since I am announcing that we're capping off the NBA and basketball season basically until October. If you listen to the JB episode and the Lucas and Ben episode towards the end, you understand what I'm going to get into next and all, and that's obviously the National Football League and all. And now I really want to throw this out and all, because there is some ish about the NFL that I do not like and all. So let me just say this: I scripted this out at least and all. But now I will admit that the practices within the NFL makes me question their legitimacy at times. But the NFL and football as a whole is a great source of content and all, and that's why I'm very excited to showcase what I have to offer at least and all, and what we plan to see, and see how the 2024 shakes out with our breakdown of each division that I'll basically be doing and all. I'll have 8 episodes, and each episode will be a breakdown of each division. Through my perspective, at least and all, this is where analysis will run out the door a little bit more, and I'm a shit ton more narrative based when it comes to football and all, because like I said, the NFL does make me question it a little bit. It's like a WWE thing to me, honestly, and I like the WWE, so I'm a big fan of entertainment. It doesn't matter if it's scripted or anything like that. I'm still a fan and all, but the NFL does make me question them a little bit too as well. And it's not just about the games, it's about how they deal with players and contracts and all too as well. It's just the whole thing with the NFL that I have problems with. But again, football is a dope sport. A dope American sport. I'll say that about football at least and all. And in the drama within the NFL is just great source of content through the people I know on Twitter, people I know outside of Twitter, and all people I know are into football and all. It's a great source of content, a great there's a great speaking points with football too as well. And again, there's a lot of politics too as well that I don't mind talking about too as well and all. But there's a lot to the NFL that I like. There's a little less analytical, in my opinion, honestly, just with me. It's going to be a whole lot more narrative based and all, and I think some will see with the NFC East breakdown and all. I got there's a little joke with me with a certain quarterback in the NFC East and all, so I'll be showcasing that here in the podcast too as well. I'll be a little bit more sensible on my podcast at least and all, compared to other shows I'm on where I'm a little bit more distasteful towards this quarterback and all in the NFC East, but I will explain with a little bit more clarity why I knocked this quarterback more than give him praise at least and all. And it's nothing against him and everything like that. It's more about what's around him at least and all. And it is some about him too as well. So let me be fair and honest and real about it at least and all. There is some skills that this quarterback lacks, and I just can't understand the credit that he's so quickly given at least and all. But it's not entirely his fault. It's a quarterback thing, and it's another thing why I have a problem with the NFL too as well. Why the quarterback gets so much credit and so much of the blame in so many scenarios in football when there's so many other factors that happen outside of the quarterback play and all too as well. We got Peyton Manning, who basically has a noodle arm, winning a Super Bowl. Trent Dilfer winning a Super Bowl and all. Nick Foles winning a Super Bowl and all too as well. And Jimmy G, if he didn't close his eyes, he's probably winning a Super Bowl too as well. And also Tom Brady at 45, or not 45, at least 43 years old, winning a Super Bowl and all. So it's not, the quarterback play is not the only reason that teams win Super Bowls and all. It's a 60 to 70% reason. I'll give you that. 55% reason and all. I'll give you that too as well. It's definitely over 50, but it's not as much as people wanted to give credit for. And that's part of the narrative thing that I like to break down and all. I think the quarterback gets too much credit and blame when we should be questioning coaching. We should be questioning other players and all too as well. Or honestly, let's not question other players. Questioning coaching, honestly, too, as well and all. And shout out to, again, Andrew Jones with the white nepotism and all. That is part of it. There is a little bit of race that I feel about with the NFL and all. Not some racist thing, but there is a level of race and what's it called there? Positioning people through their race and all. Even white people, too, as well. Not just the whole black thing. Even white guys, too, as well in the NFL and all. So that's the type of narrative thing that I'll be digging in with the NFL this season and all. And curious how my narratives will run through the season and all. There will be analysis and all. In the first, I'll have an interlude episode and talk about my favorite players in the NFL and all. So there will be some analytical thing and all. But my criticism about the coaching and the ownership too as well. We can do that with some teams in the NFL too as well. Those are the things I break down on reasons why on why teams don't have success or lack success or have success and have limited amounts of success and all too as well. Because my thing about the NFL, it's huge to have your executive side, your coaching side, and your playing side all in sync. I think in other sports like basketball, baseball, I think you can get away with it. Even hockey too. I think you can get away with it. But in football, it's really hard for those three branches to win if they're not cohesive. Because I feel like the owner, the GM, the coach they're all necessary for the play on the field to be effective. Honestly, I feel like, you look at situations like Donald. Now I'm going ham with my analysis of how I look at the NFL, at least, and also I'll make it quick and all. But you look at certain situations. You got the NBA, you got Donald Sterling and all. You got what's his name there, who had to sell his team to Matt Ishbia. I'm sleeping on his name right now too, because he's not important anymore. He doesn't own the Phoenix Suns anymore. But again, he was running a bad organization too as well. I gotta find his name real quick, just for the recording. Honestly, owners. Who was the owner before Matt Ishbia? I gotta find the owner before Matt Ishbia. It's gonna bug me and all. But it to the point at least. No, yeah. Now I'm running long, and I know I'm rambling and all. But to the point at least, that I feel like with the NFL, everything's gotta be flowing well for you to really win a championship. Honestly, you really gotta see on the same page at least, too as well. Even with the Patriots and their dysfunction that you were seeing broadcasted now, they were still connected throughout those times and winning those games, even in the second half of their what's it called, dynasty and all, win those three championships in 16, and I should say 14, 16, and 18 at least and all. But I find it very curious how those things run, at least on the NFL. That's the part I really enjoy breaking down, at least. My bad, press the play button on my YouTube channel, so excuse that little blur at least and all. But yeah, that's the way I'll be breaking down the NFL at least and all. There'll be some analysis clearly and all, but I do have some biases against some certain organizations and all too as well. Just more on how they're run at least and all. Like an example that I'll bring up. I'm rambling right now, but this is how much I just wanted to give an example at least and all. Like, I'm loving the way the Detroit Lions are being run, the way the Houston Texans are being run, the way the Jets were coming in last season. Liked it, but you're seeing how they're run at least and all, and it makes me more suspect and all too as well, and it makes me curious, can they play with all that talent that they do have, and if they're able to stay injury free, are they still able to get things connected at least, because you're seeing a disconnect with Robert Saleh and Aaron Rodgers at least too as well, and Woody Johnson always seems to be a disconnect between him and the team at least too as well, even though he does flash his bling and all. So those are the type of things I like to break down with the NFL at least and all, because I feel like it's a little bit more. It's a little bit more nuanced than just the football thing. Honestly, there's a lot going on in the exec part, in the GM part, even in the coaching part. Honestly, that I think attributes to the success on the football field and all. So I'm hoping over these next couple episodes and all, that I'm able to relay that and all. I'll be definitely more prepared than what I'm spinning right now, because I'm basically rambling and all. But that's what we have going forward with the podcast at least and all. Again, that the basketball side is going to be done for the next couple months. I'll be focusing more on the NFL and all. But definitely coming in October and all, we'll have a preview show. I have a feeling I'm going to have a top 50 list to show off to you guys too as well and all. Too as well, going into the season and all. The ESPN usually drops the top 100, and they didn't put Derrick White in it last year and all, so I'm pretty sure they're going to fix that mistake and all. And because of that, I accidentally made my own top 50, 75 list and all. I was pretty impressed what I came up with. So now I wanted to put that in the podcast format too as well. So that's what you guys can look forward from me for basketball in October and all. We'll do a prediction show similarly to what I'm doing for the NFL and all. Talk about the top 50 players in the league and my perspective, and then obviously some other lists that some other media companies are basically going to be throwing out and all. And but that's how we'll get back into basketball. But once again, let me just reiterate, I'm at 47 minutes, so I'll basically make sure I close this by 50 minutes at least and all. Definitely rambling and all. But for the future of what we're going to be doing over the next month or so, going to have 8 episodes of each division in the NFL, from the AFC to the NFC and all. Going to have a prediction show and who I have going to the Super Bowl and all. Spoiler alert, one of the teams will be the Detroit Lions and all. I will be riding on that bandwagon again. Too as well, because I just think they got something dope going. Jahmyr Gibbs, their star running back, did have a hamstring injury in practice. This is Tuesday I'm recording. I think this was yesterday this happened and all, on Monday, August 12th. So I'm not happy about that. My heart hurts about that. Definitely because it's a soft tissue injury, and this is football and all too as well. I don't expect them. I shouldn't expect them to see him play until October, honestly, which is kind of disappointing and all. They do have a dope tandem running back with Montgomery as the other guy, and also they will be all right, honestly, but it is disappointing to have Gibbs ready to go to start the season, honestly, because I think he's out for that best running back in the league title, honestly, too, as well, and you'll hear more of that opinion in my interlude and all when I talk about my favorite players in the league and all. He's definitely one of them and all too as well. But again, over the next few episodes, we're going to have 8 episodes breaking down each division and all. I'll have a prediction show of whoever I go into the Super Bowl and all, and just give you my spoiler of who I got coming out of the NFC and all. Bringing in a dope football guy I've been talking football with for the past year or so, known him for the past 2 to 3 years, same way, through locker room, then converting to Spotify live green room, to continue in his rooms, his spaces on Twitter now too as well. This guy is a dope football guy, a Niner fan, but a leveled-headed Niner fan and all too as well. But he's a dope guy. We've talked football and talked other sports over the past year, and I'm very excited to have him next on this show and all. But when I break down my NFL content and all, I'll be having him as a guest. Similarly of me bringing in JB, Ben, and Lucas. But I'm at the 50-minute mark. I've been rambling for 10 minutes and all too as well. Just excited about what we're doing next on the podcast and all. We're not keeping it completely basketball. We will be divulging into other things, and the NFL and football will be an example of the other things that I'll be broadcasting here on this podcast and all. So I do appreciate you guys listening. I kept it under the hour and all, so the listening won't be too bad. I'm hoping the listening wasn't so bad and all too as well. No, but I do appreciate you guys listening again. Again, we're at the 747 download mark, on our way to 1,000 and all. I do appreciate the start and the audience create and all. Let's keep it going and all. So we'll talk soon.